In this video, I want to have a look at simple interest. So simple interest is also sometimes called flat rate interest, and it's interest that's calculated based on the original amount of money that we've either invested or borrowed. So it doesn't matter how much that has grown to, it's always based on the original amount. So the formula for simple interest is I equals PRN. Sometimes you'll see it with I equals PRT instead of N, but it means the same thing. So in that formula, the I stands for the amount of interest that's earned. The P stands for the principal or the original amount of money. The R is the interest rate as a decimal, and the N is the number of time periods. So in any question, you could be asked to find any of those four things when you're given the other three. So there's lots of different types of questions, and we're going to have a go through a couple of different ones. So our first example is, I guess, the most sort of straightforward type of question you're going to get. So it's asked us to calculate the simple interest on $12,000 invested at 8% per annum for 2 years. So in there, if we look at our formula, our $12,000 is our P. Our 8% is our rate, so that's going to be our R, but we're not going to use 8, we're going to use 0.08, so we're converting it to a decimal instead of a percentage. And our N, our number of time periods, is 2 years. So it's just really important that this was per annum or per year, and our N is in years as well. So our rate and our number have to be in the same time periods. All right, so to calculate the interest then, we're going to go interest equals 12,000 times 0.08 and times by our 2. So we're multiplying those three things together. And that's going to give us $1,920 interest. So our second example is slightly different. So it's asking us to calculate the final amount of the investment if $4,000 is invested at 3.25% per annum for 3 years. So the difference between this question and the last one was it's asking us to calculate the final amount. So we've already got $4,000 and then we're going to earn interest as well, and it wants the total of those two things together. So we start off doing exactly what we did in the last question. So we've got our formula up here, our $4,000 is our P. Our rate would be 0.0325 and our N is our 3 years. So our interest is going to be the 4,000 multiplied by the, multiplied by 0.0325 and then multiplied by the 3 for the 3 years as well. And that's going to give us $390. So that means the total amount of the investment is the $4,000 plus the $390. So the total amount, we'll add those two things together, which is going to give us $4,390 in total. Our third example says Jane invests $2,000 at an interest rate of 4.6% per annum for 7 months, and it asks us how much interest she's going to earn. So we just have to be careful here because our rate is per annum or per year, but our time periods are in months. So we either need to convert the rate into months or write the months in terms of years. So it's up to you which one you do. So in this one, I'm going to stick with my $2,000 as my P, my principal. My rate, I'm going to write that in terms of months. So normally it would be 0.046, but that's for a whole year. So for a month, I'm going to divide that by 12, and that'll tell me what the interest rate is for each month. And then my N can just still be my 7. So then my interest is going to be 2,000 multiplied by 0.046 over 12 multiplied by 7, and that's going to give me $53.67 interest. Our next question is kind of similar. So we're wanting to calculate the simple interest earned on $27,000 invested at 1.2% per month for 3 years. So again, we've got them in different units at the moment, so we're going to have to convert one of them. So my $27,000, that's my principal. My rate was 0.012, but that's only per month. So if we wanted it per year, I'd have to multiply that by 12. And then my N is my 3 years. So my interest is going to be the $27,000 multiplied by 0.012 times 12 multiplied by my 3. And that's going to give me $11,664 interest. So far, all of our examples in this formula, we've been finding we've been calculating the interest. But we can also be asked to find the principal or the rate or the number of time periods. So for our fifth example, we've got Paul invests his savings into an account earning 5.2% per annum simple interest. After 3 years, he's earned $1,872 interest. How much money did he invest originally? So what we're trying to find this time is P. So this amount that he's earned in interest, that's going to be our I in our equation. The 5.2% per annum simple interest, that's going to be my, not N, it's going to be my R. So R is going to be 0.052. And my 3 years, that's going to be my N. So in this formula, I've got I equals PRN. I'm going to substitute in what I know. So I've got $1,872 equals P times 0.052 times 3. Now I need to figure out what P is. There's kind of different ways you can go about this. You could simplify this bit, so you could figure out what 0.052 times 3 is, and then we could divide through by that answer. I'm just going to do it straight away. So if I want to get P on its own, I'm going to have to divide everything by this whole section here. So I'm going to go by 1,872 divided by that 0.052 times 3. So just make sure you're typing this into your calculator correctly. And we should end up with a principal of $12,000. Let's do one more example. So after 5 years, an investment of $8,000 has earned $3,900 interest. And we're asked to calculate the simple interest rate. So in this one, our $8,000 was our principal. It's earned $3,900 interest, and it was 5 years, so that's our N. So again, we've got our I equals PRN as our, that is not an N, PRN as our formula, and we're going to fill in what we know. So we've got our $3,900 interest, our $8,000 principal. We don't know our rate, but we do know we've got our 5 years. So again, I'm trying to get my rate on its own. So I'm going to go this divided by everything that's on this side. So 3,900 divided by 8,000 times 5. Just again, you could do this separately. So you could do this divided by the 5, and then whatever answer you get, you could divide that by 8,000. Or you could simplify this first. So you could figure out what 8,000 times 5 is, and then go this answer divided by that. It's up to you. But if we do this, we're going to get R equals 0.0975, roughly. I think it's got a few more decimals in there, which means that we're going to end up with 9.75% as our simple interest rate. So that's having a look at a couple of different types of questions you can get involving simple interest.